Oh shit.
Hello, welcome to 4T Fit Fu. We have some guest stars today. We know they do not look over 40, but it's just because they take such good care of themselves and do lots of joint warm-ups. But combined, okay, they're not 40, but combined, they are over 40.
They're in their 40s if you combine both of their ages.
Yes.
So this is Nick and Alexia here, and let me see if I can move around a little bit. Okay. We have some people doing Kung Fu and they get knee issues. Now, usually when you have a knee problem, it's usually not the knee's fault. It's usually probably something else that's lacking, maybe ankle issues or hip issues. But we're going to address the knee anyway because it can make you feel better. If you had to guess what I would suggest if someone came to me with knees, what would you think that I would say? Anyone? I'm ready to take any answers.
Joint mobility.
Yeah.
Cars.
Joint mobility in cars. It's amazing. It's almost like you guys know me.
It's almost like we say joint mobility every week. Like if you had a secret word or a,
Yes.
motto, it would be joint mobility.
That's where we want to go first because if your joints can't move well, then, Plus, I'm not going to give you a massage. You I will, but I'm not going to give Nick or Alexia a massage, right? They came to me with knee issues. Okay, so we're going to go through simple knee cars. Now, knee cars are controlled articular rotations, by the way. All right, so let's use Nick's shin as an example, okay? If I put an X here.
Do you want some shot?
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, can I get a little bit of chop,
I
please?
want a shot.
Can you mark it next there? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. That's probably not going to be visible.
But it was fun.
But there's an X here. So here's how we want you to think about starting to do a knee car, which is a knee circle, basically. Your shin connects into your knee, like so. And so what I want Nick to do is think from this whole shin bone all the way down to the heel for all that to move together, side to side. Now, this is actually not bad. So I'm going to actually tell him to do it. This is what we don't want, which is having the foot moving and then this shin moving afterwards. This X is what's initiating the movement. And so sometimes, I'm going to cover up your X. Is that okay?
Fine.
All right, cool. So sometimes what you can do is actually hold on to the shin and move it for that bone around a little bit like that. Okay?
So do you actually want someone to be able to manipulate you, or should you be able to do this on your own?
Nick is doing it great. You should do it on your own. So now we're going to have Nick and Alexia do a full knee circle from two different angles. Alexia's facing this way, Nick's facing this way. You can pick either leg as long as you don't kick each other. I think that's all that matters.
Or Alexia could kick Nick.
Alexia's allowed to kick.
I think our audience would actually be okay with that.
Alexia's allowed to kick Nick. Nick is not allowed to kick Alexia. So the first step is that you are able to get that kind of tibia moving on its own. If you're not able to do that, then we're not ready for this step. But let's just assume check. You're able to do that. So now the next step is for you to flex your toes towards your shin, for you to lift your foot a little bit off the ground. And now we're going to turn that entire shin towards the pinky side and then extend the leg. And then you turn it towards the big toe side. This is where it gets hard
like
because
a steering wheel.
like a steering wheel, perfect. And then you come back down, and that's one full controlled articular rotation in one direction. And then you can do the same thing in the opposite direction, where you turn towards the big toe, extend the leg, turn towards the pinky toe, and bring it back down. Did you see the circle?
I did. I could see the circle, but I don't know if they could see the circle. So just to reiterate for our listeners and viewers, pretty much we shouldn't be feeling pain.
Correct.
And if we do this is when people say, oh, I kind of feel pain or something or whatever. This is something that's good because I actually do this all the time on the plane. Usually I don't kick anyone around me, but if I do, I kick Oscar, so then it's okay. But yeah, you actually do this on the plane because usually you're just in a really weird position. And I always find that always makes me feel better after. It's like magic cars.
When your combined ages are under 50, you may not feel this. But if your combined ages are closer to 80-ish, then you may feel it. Or if you're 80.
You just need to pay you guys up with 3-year-olds.
Right. Combine us with 3 years, and then we'll be the same age. So to answer your question about a painful knee circle, so these two are also some of our instructors here at the temple. So they're more flexible, more mobile than normal. They also do stuff like this all the time. So let's say that you had pain, and then you're gonna do a limited range of motion controlled articular rotation, like a limited range of motion. What would that look like? So we're here, and then it's just a smaller circle. That's all that it is. And so you have to go through your maximal pain-free range of motion. So if you are in pain, the worst thing you can do is stop moving. Something is still better than nothing. Yes, I love it when you're
Okay, so looking at their position because they know what to do, should their back be straight? Should they be leaning back? Should what if people start falling over?
Yeah.
All sorts of crazy things. These guys have impeccable balance.
So Alexia, you know what? Why don't you sit on that box there?
But to be fair, what you said earlier was that they do this all the time. So this isn't just for 4T fit fooders. This is actually good for everybody. So
have either of you ever had knee pain?
Yes.
There you go. So that you still benefit from it.
That's right.
So it's a continuing process. You know, when you make the commitment to do kung fu, you realize that there are going to be issues that need to be addressed consistently.
I think it was that lion dance they did on Saturday.
Yeah. You know what? I should post part of that. That was an amazing line dance.
We haven't broken it down yet.
Okay, so Alexia's sitting on a box. So this takes the balance part a little bit out of it. So you could have your kind of foot there, and right. Now, maybe Alexia's the wrong person because her legs aren't that long.
One foot on the ground. There we go.
So one foot could be on the ground, but she's still able to kind of move it around. And then go ahead and put both of your feet down. This is another position to start from, and you can take that paddle. You don't need the extra. So right from there, don't lift your leg off the ground, but flex your toes towards your shin, and just do that initial, just the rotation, the tibial rotation. So that there, and I know it may not come through as well on the Kung Fu Pants stuff, but that there can be enough, and this is the type of stuff you were saying you do on the plane, right? I'm the same. I'm doing this type of stuff on the plane.
I don't know. Actually, on the plane, I'm full on.
That was the time I was sleeping, and I felt like I got stuck.
No,
across the
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So okay, so that is the controlled articular rotation. How we start. Now we've checked that off. The next step is what we're going to do some knee extension while keeping your hip flexed. The reason for this is that if you focus on one joint, so we're focusing on the joint above the knee and really trying to maintain flexion of the hip there, and then try to extend the knee, you're gonna get the benefit that we want. So let's have you guys now back to where you were. Back to your starting positions. Go.
Nick.
Alexia.
So want me this way? You want me to turn around? So they can see.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We don't need to have you butt facing that way. That's good. Thank you. Good point. So Alexia, you can lay
Good
back
thing
as
Nick
well.
has done a lot of these exercises, so he knows the setup for this.
Right. Okay.
And again,
Alexia,
I'm
you
here.
can scoot.
I'm
more,
here
yeah.
if you have
There
questions.
you go.
Kick Nick.
You can kick Nick. No, that's what we wanted. Okay. All right.
One more kick.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do is, and I'll come around and help you guys. Don't use a tennis ball just yet. Put it to the side. I want you to choose whatever knee you feel is the one that's your bigger problem knee that's given you problems in the past, and I want you to flex your hip as high as you can on your own. So Nick's got his left, and you got, it's almost like you guys are a pair. Look at that. So Nick's gonna bring his knee towards my hand, right, as much as you can without raising the hips. And Alexia's bringing her knee forward as much as you can without raising the hips. Now, you're going to take your tennis ball, and you're going to place it in the crease that you created, but not shove it in. It has to be right where you
So that
barely
it
are
could
holding.
fall out.
Correct. And now from here, we're going to do just knee extension. So you're going to extend your knee as best you can, and then come down. And now we're going to want you guys to do a little bit of a loud exhale. Nice. And that little rollout is exactly what we want because you're learning. You've learned that you've kind of compensated a little bit, and we're okay with that. Okay? You guys can rest your legs for a second. So any questions on that one?
So just go over that one more time. So when the ball rolls out, that means...
I'm coming over here by Lex.
The reason you have the ball there is to cue you, basically, because if it does roll out, that means that we had a little rotation.
Yeah. So a tennis ball is, I think, the best choice. You could also make a fist and use it as your placement, but just know that you're going to cheat.
Yeah, you don't want to be a cheater. Use a tennis ball.
So,
or a lacrosse ball.
yeah, any spherical
Yeah,
object.
softball.
So, if
Probably not a
Alexia
dodgeball,
flexes her hip
softball.
again as much as she can, and then I want you to pussy yourself, and then just there. So there is just kind of, it's almost just resting there, right? It's barely being held. Now she's gonna really have to work to maintain her hip flex as she extends her knee. And so we're working, instead of me saying, hey, we're working these particular stuff, we're working the stuff that is kind of jacked up, and you're strengthening it. And then you're also teaching your joint how to function as a joint. We're building a knee joint, you can look at it that way. And so then when you go to do your Kung Fu, you're gonna have a healthier knee joint overall. The next step that we can do, I'll just real quickly say, is you can also do the same knee cars that we did laying back this way with this. It's just the next step. So you can flex the toes towards your shin, you can turn, rotate the tibia, you can do the full knee car. And that is the first step for knees. Is there any?
Knees, everybody.
These knees. Anything else?
No, I think that's good.
Cool.
So obviously, even if you aren't injured or don't have an issue right now, this is kind of good for maintenance as well.
Yeah.
So,
And so for example, your tibia, Nick is a doctor of physical therapy. In training, everyone, just want you to know, so you can correct me for my anatomy that I may have wrong. But you need rotation of the tibia when you're squatting. So while I'm squatting here, my shins aren't completely straight. They're kind of rotating. And so what we're doing is we're training that. And if you practice Kung Fu, if you practice any sport where you have to squat and kind of hinge, your tibia should rotate in the knee. It should. If it doesn't, I think that's wrong, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It
I'm
should
saying,
rotate
okay.
a little bit.
Okay, what I'm saying is it has to be able to rotate a little bit.
Mhm.
If you're rotating it, that's a good point. It shouldn't be like, oh my god, look at all this rotation I'm getting. But if you have none, if you're completely jammed up there, you're going to run into problems. And so this is just a way to kind of you can do it as a preventative measure as well. We're good?
We're good.
All right, awesome.
Thanks for joining
Thanks,
us.
everybody.
Wait, one thing.
Oh my god.
Check out my shoe. Yeah, we got these awesome new Control Your Health shirts, and we want to one more time congratulate Oscar on his 5th anniversary that we just celebrated.